Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. I welcome you to Pondering Thoughts with Nida Jawad. You click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss any notifications of what is happening on Pondering Thoughts with Nida Jawad and what other exciting guests and stories we are bringing you. Today we have Sanya Bari with us, a therapist and a coach. She has 2 master degrees in counseling psychology, and she is a licensed professional counselor, national certified counselor, certified trauma specialist. She is a whole lot of package of experience and knowledge. And you know what makes her that much special to me? Because Sanya Bari is the person because of whom I became a life coach. I personally, thanks to you, recognized what I'm meant for, right? And I found my purpose. I am so grateful. You have no idea.
I want to tell you that from my perspective, right? Just, like a panoramic perspective, because see, there's a Chinese proverb, my eyes are in my face, they only look out. So, which is why we need community, which is why we need people. Because I need you to tell me what I can't see and the other way around.
Of course.
So when I saw you, I saw this depth in you that people, by the way, it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. I knew what to call it. I knew what it can do, but I could see that people would gravitate towards you. And when I told you that, you right away recognize that this is something that you've had all your life. You right away recognize that this happens to you all the time.
Yeah, it did. And I didn't recognize it prior to when you actually mentioned it. You labeled it and you told me what I can do with it.
But I have to say that I do see people who have natural abilities. And I do see therapists with a lot of degrees, but they don't have it. They got it down here, they don't have it down here. And I just feel sometimes all of those degrees stand in the way of coming into what you were always meant to be. So I'm so glad. And you even got certified. Like, you didn't even have to get certified. Like, I'm so proud of you. You did it the right way. You went all out and you were like, I'm going to own this. And I hope you can see what I can see, which is like a very strong woman who picked up on something Allah was showing her and actually did something.
You're making me blush right now. But
Good.
Thank you so much.
You need to know, that even back then, that this has always been you. I know that now you have a name, you're a coach, you've got a sign back there and stuff, but you were always this person. This has always been you.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And first of all, thank you so much for helping me recognize this.
MashaAllah.
And thank you for being present during this trip of Hajj that changed the course of my life completely. Alhamdulillah.
Well, thank you. I take that so deeply. It's just, it is just so, I can feel it. Thank you.
Of course, it's coming from the heart. And like I mentioned, you are forever part of my story. So far, every interview I've given, you've been part of it. People have been curious about, who is this Sanya you keep talking about?
And I'm so honored. Please go ahead, I'm sorry.
Of course. And that's the thing, whether my interactions with others have been positive or negative, and that comes with the field, I think. Whenever you put yourself out there, the curiosity has been, who is this person who selflessly guided one other woman to be successful? Because it's very unlikely that this happens, especially coming from a very similar, of course, your qualifications are way ahead. You're so beautiful externally and even more profoundly beautiful inside. From what I remember.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate that.
And I think the world needs more women like you, so more women like me can emerge.
And they need more women like us, because you and I are the same, really.
Exactly.
We're the same. We're on the same path, and you're doing such great work, Nida. I'm very impressed.
Alhamdulillah.
I'm very impressed. You have made gold out of any kind of pain that you had in there, you've made gold out of that. And you know, and there is that alchemy, there is that art to it, there is that passion and grit to it that you need, and you got it.
Alhamdulillah.
Good.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
The path is there, you're just stepping, you don't even realize, you know. But
Yeah.
from the outside in,
Alhamdulillah.
I'm telling you, I'm looking at you and I'm like, oh my God, Nida is rocking it. I love this.
Alhamdulillah. And you should be proud because you saw what I couldn't even see.
I'm so proud. I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of women in general. I'm so proud of what we can create. I mean, we all know
Alhamdulillah.
this, right? That's why they all
Yes.
put us down and they're trying to hide us because they know that
Exactly,
got the fire.
exactly. That's exactly the point, right? And
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah that we are here and we're at this stage. And again, now I want world to know about you,
Okay.
right? So what you're doing and what are your goals coming up? What are you looking forward to? What would you like world to know about you right now?
Just such a, you know, such a fault ridden person, a regular person like everybody else. And the reason I have gotten to where I've gotten to is because of the pain I've gone through, the mistakes I've made in the arena of relationships. And I've suffered so deeply. The wounds were so deep that they were able to jolt me out of it. And I've always tried to seek what good relationships are, what they can do for us, what do they look like, do they even exist?
Right.
And you know, I really didn't get answers. And what I want the world to know is that there is a way to have wonderful, beautiful relationships. And my life's mission at this point, after being in the field for so long, working with so many people, so many couples and individuals, through sitting across from them in their relationship pain. What I want everyone to know is that the reason we get in this confusing place, the reason we have issues in our relationships is because we're just confused about what relationships really are, what they're supposed to do for us, and what is their function, their meaning. And I really wish, like, as a young woman, or even as a child, I must say, I wish that I knew. I wish that I was taught from the beginning what they really were, because I wouldn't have gotten debased. I would have expected the pain. I would have understood. So
Right.
my work right now, I have literally, it's not really my work anymore. I really call it my mission. My mission
Alhamdulillah.
is to reach as many human beings as possible out there, to say, number one, there is a way out. There is definitely a way out there. There is such a thing as good relationships. They exist. And all of us people, broken people, people who made mistakes, people who got into, you know, all kinds of messes, can get
Right.
up and they can rise and they can get it. And number two, I want them to know that it happens because of misunderstandings. And the misunderstanding I'm speaking about is our
Right.
misunderstanding of what relationships really are. Like, you know, we are all coming into relationships half full, and we are expecting our partners to complete us.
True.
And you know, and we're coming with premises such as, you know, my partner is going to complete me, my partner is going to make me happy, my partner is going to know what I want and what I love and what I need.
Yeah.
Whereas half of us, most of us, don't know really what we need. My partner is going to should know what I want, when I want, the way I want it, that kind of a thing. Putting so much pressure on our relationship, not taking any responsibility. And you know, love is the most fundamental human emotional need, not physical need, because there are other
Right.
physical needs that are fundamental.
Sure.
But when you go to emotional needs, it is the most fundamental one. And we continue to outsource that to other people. And we have this weird concept that all of us have collectively subscribed to, that if I want to get loved, what I have to do is I have to love all of these other people. All of these,
Yeah.
I have to give love and attention to all of these other, whereas it was never anybody's task to give us love, but ours to feel the love inside us. The
Exactly.
misunderstanding, and I would say that the greatest misunderstanding that we have, all of us have, is men, women, all of us, that we are not worthy of love, or we are not to be loved, or we are not valid just by virtue of the fact that we exist.
But I would like you to share a little bit of your story, where you're coming from, how you found your guidance. I found it through you, but who was your to-go person who guided you, and how you found the love for counseling, and especially for couples to
Yes.
nurture their relationship? How did all that start?
Yes. So for whatever reason, Nida, even when I was a little girl, I would notice that I would always notice people's relationships. And my mom and dad would say, okay, now the adults are talking, you guys go. And I would always want to
Right.
linger. And even when I would go, I would want to see that what uncles and aunties are saying to each other, what is happening. I wanted to know, and I was trying to look always for a model of a good relationship. So
Mhm.
even before anything, I know that this was something that I wanted to know about. And even by the time I got married, my biggest panic in getting married, when I chose to get married, was that, my God, I don't have it yet. I don't have the answer yet. I don't have even one single. I had little, shades of, I like this, but still, this is what's wrong. Like, I hadn't found that perfect relationship that I wanted to emulate. And when I asked for advice,
Yeah.
because now I was panicking. I was like, I'm getting married. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. It's not like a relationship. I've had other relationships before my marriage where I really messed up, and I really, got hurt terribly. So I already had evidence that even though I'm interested, I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm
Right.
making mistakes. Everything that I teach right now, those are all
Mhm.
the things that I did wrong, one by one, and suffered so badly at the hands of years of confusion. So
Yeah.
really, my motivation when I went, I knew the only thing I want to do is psychology. So I always studied psychology. Even I have two bachelors, so one from Pakistan, and in that one also I did psychology. Then I did it here. Then my master's in psychology, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. This is what gave me passion. Like, even
Mhm.
when would be on the beach and we're relaxing, those are the kinds of journals I would want to read. So I knew that that's my direction that was happening, and I was being led there by my interest. But the other thing that was weird was that here I have all this interest around relationships,
Yeah.
and I'm reading about it constantly. I'm so curious. Even the movies I see, I want, that's the kind I want to see. But on the other hand, I'm having all of these experiences where every single relationship that I've had ever, I've kind of like messed it up. It's like, what is happening here? So the combination of that and that curiosity, it led me to this place. And I just kept getting degrees after degrees, and I understood everything. I got it down. Cognitively, I understood the mechanisms. I understood all the workings of why, what happens. I was objective enough to see myself to bring about change. But what had happened is that over the years, I got so hurt by
Yeah.
all of the things that happened that I could see that even though I know it, I can't really do it. I can't really bring it. And that's where spirituality came in. Because to me,
Mhm.
psychology has, if you can follow psychology, it has a roof, it has a ceiling. And after that, you have to go spiritual. What I will tell you is the secret is that the word psyche means soul, and it is the study of soul. And when the field
Yeah.
started, it wasn't a big deal to study soul because people thought of soul in a more different way. But when psychology became a field over the years, the psychologists had this need to prove it as a science. So we tried to, if you ever look at the
Mhm.
best theories ever, you can see that they merge with spirituality in such a beautiful way. And they're saying in science all of the things that spirituality teaches, only it's masked by all of these words. But
Right.
that I then, my third master's degree that I did the coursework for is in spiritual psychology.
That's
And
awesome.
that was my That was my way out. That's when I could actually do something.
Spirituality is universal. You are two beings, regardless of which background you're coming from. You feel one thing. The pain on your skin is different than the pain in your heart.
Yes.
And that's where the difference is coming in, right?
Yes.
And that's where you heal. And I'm so glad you said that, because once you recognize who are you in the inside with your soul, you can bring that out. And I'm so happy that you did that, because now you can help so many others who are having difficulty. You cracked the code. I'm so glad.
So what I'm telling you is that the code
Yeah.
cracked me. The field found me.
That's awesome.
I feel like I'm led. It cannot be an accident that I'm interested in this, that I get all of these pain. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? So it was not an option for me. This was not, it was, nobody asked me.
Yeah.
I wasn't consulted. I was just
And that's
thrown
fine,
in there.
because now there are a lot of people who can benefit from your knowledge. You know, the code that found you, you can help them discover that code now.
Yeah.
And one of the situations that I encounter and I see a lot of couples are struggling with is infidelity.
Yes.
So before we get into that, we all know it's cheating. It can be a physical aspect of it, even emotional aspect of it. It
Yes.
comes in both, right? So my first question to you is, what triggers the intention of infidelity? Action, motivation, perhaps? Is it increase of intimate needs? Where does the idea even emerge from in either partner, wife or a husband?
Absolutely. What a fabulous question. So what is
Right.
that every human being is born with a curriculum. So you can call it a spiritual curriculum, you can call it that, you can call it a psychological, social curriculum, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has their own things, the own set of things that they're born with. And we will get into relationships ultimately, even if it is an arranged marriage. Ultimately, you will get into a relationship with the person who's going to hurt you in ways that in the places where you need to heal. The cracks are going to be in the right places where the light needs to enter. And how it is so customized that, generally speaking, those are the exact pains that you had in your childhood, that you now in your marriage, in your relationship, are getting another chance to get a crack at, so to speak. Because when we were younger, many times we were dependent. We didn't have the tools, we didn't have the maturity, we didn't have the independence in many times, even if sometimes we did have maturity and the tools to do anything. But and so it was not possible. And many times all we could do was utilize our defense mechanism of running away, of just hiding, of reacting, or acting out, whatever we did. And so as an example, if there's a child in a grocery store and that child wants to have cereal, feels like he wants cereal, and thinks that he wants cereal, he doesn't understand why you think it's stealing. He's just going to do it, or that you have to buy it. So we do have to be socialized. That's understandable, but then we take it too far, to the point where we think that the people, things, and situations are going to tell us when we're okay. And the reality of life is that something's always going to be wrong. True. So we're always in this deficit, which creates a hole, like almost an abyss inside us. Some people are better at fulfilling that abyss. Other people are less good. They have different ways of fulfilling that abyss. Some people will fill it with money and things. Some people fill it with people. And the thing is that when we don't have that regulation, that integrity attached, which is the integration being the integration between what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and what you're doing. Because all of these experiences that people needed us to be someone, to be something, made us lose that integrity. And when you give that up to them, your regulation also depends on them. You can't regulate yourself. And the idea is, all of us have one task. And Rumi has this one quote, and I think I'm going to mess it up a little bit, so I wish I had it written down so I would say it properly. It's as if a great king sent you to a far off land to do one thing. And you went there and you did a great many things. But if you didn't do that one thing, it's almost as if you didn't do anything at all. Great king being God,
Yeah.
the one thing being the understanding who you are, what your soul is, what is your intellectual, what are you born to do? What is, and to not do that.
I think Rumi himself couldn't have said it like you did right now.
He said it very, very nicely.
But it makes sense,
yeah.
right? You just explained that to modern day audience. That's what it means if you're not self-aware. Please share your point that you wanted to make.
So the point I want to make is that most typical example of a man cheating on a woman. However, what I want to say here is women cheat equally. Most people are heterosexual. There are gay people, there are all kinds of genders, but most people are, that's the biggest population. So who are men cheating with? They're cheating with women. Women are just better at hiding it. So, but what I want to say is that let's take the typical example of a man cheating on a woman. So when he's getting into this relationship, he's thinking my wife's going to give me this solace. She's going to be always tell me how handsome I am, how wonderful I am, how this, and now this woman, as an example, is doing what her life is taking her into, doing the right things. The issue is the premise that my partner is to provide all these things to me. So if I find that the abyss inside me that I know I had since I was a teenager, that's when that kind of a depression, even in younger years, that's when the abyss, one of the biggest issues right now that we have is anxiety. We've never had as many young people kill themselves as now. So, and you see that younger and younger children, because of the social media, because of the incessant nature of the world, the virtual world, and this world that we have where you can't get a break. So, and all of that happens, that abyss starts early on. And it increases. So now if I'm a man and I'm thinking, well, my abyss is her responsibility. I know that it's her responsibility because when I met her and we were madly in love, I didn't have that abyss anymore because she was filling it. And that part of the marriage is infatuation. That part of the marriage is called passion. Another word for passion is pain in other languages. And it's a transient time. It is not real love. It's a choice. It's waking up every day and saying, I choose you. I see all the ugliness in you. And I love you. I love you with your beauty and your ugliness. That is that he's thinking, he's got this entire story that, oh, I know the last time this abyss got filled was this way. So you know what? And all of this ridiculous misunderstanding, misinterpretation of realities. That this was supposed to be provided in some other format. If there is an abyss that exists inside me or him or anyone else, it is our responsibility. That is what Rumi is describing. That is our job to fulfill it. And so he's going to go get that elsewhere. Now we, as we're watching him from outside, we might think he's selfish. He doesn't care about anyone. He's just trying to survive. He's just trying to make it work. This is not about, the wife or anybody else. He may say, some men will even come out and say, it's your fault. You don't do A, B, and C. It's inaccurate. It's inaccurate. When A, B, and C is done, he's going to find something else. There is something inside him that is empty that he's filling there. If you ever notice the women that men cheat with knows they're not going to marry.
That's a good point.
They know because the drama of it all is that they have to be lower. Like I have to be like on top. Like I have to be, that's the whole drama.
Someone they can dominate.
Now, who's the person who's going to cheat? Somebody who has low self-esteem. Somebody who needs this.
Right.
Has this misunderstanding that they need. Who are they going to cheat with? Somebody who has low self-esteem, especially if the other person's aware that this person is married.
True. Makes so much sense when you put it out there. And the two words that stuck out to me was number one, choice. And number two, choosing to be in this relationship, and number two, trying to heal through it. They know there's a gap within themselves and they're trying to fill it once they realized, okay, the situation has changed, I have to go fill it the exact same way I did before. Quick fix. Now, speaking of quick fixes and choice, many times there are couples who choose to forgive and remain in the same marriage where they experience infidelity. The person knows they have been cheated on, but they choose to forgive and they choose to remain in the same relationship with the person who has hurt them immensely. What? So the actual question is, why are people willing, some of them, to stay with the same person and forgive? Though the dynamics of the relationships have changed, but they are choosing to remain together.
Yeah.
What makes that event happen?
Could be a reason that there's a codependency there. That's an easy one, that they that person feels that they really that's the easy answer, and it's really not my real answer. That they feel that they kind of can't live without them and this and that. But the real answer is that many times when infidelity is taking place, the relationship has a lot more in it. There's a lot more in it than that. It is not the be all end all. That many times when relate the people who are cheating, it's very easy for us to call the person who's cheating the person whom they're cheating with, these two people. It's very easy to think that these people are awful people and they're crazy and this and that. However, infidelity is nothing but a symptom of an issue that exists in the relationship. Now, when I say that, it sounds very much like, whoa, 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 what are you saying? Are you saying that there's something wrong with, as in our example, where there's a man cheating on a woman, that there's something wrong with the woman? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If there is absolutely no reason that anybody can give to anyone in any culture, religion, ethical system, that would allow somebody that you have promised someone, and many times before God, when people when they experience being betrayal, the biggest part of the pain is the deception. The deception after they have completely trusted their heart, mind, body, soul to this person. So the reason they will stay is, but the biggest reason usually is there's more. They have seen this person in many other lights, and whatever has happened, it may not be characteristic of them. Some of them will even say, no, it's a little bit characteristic because he does look at women, and when I met him, he cheated that one time. But there is something in that relationship. If there is somebody who's staying, that's the reason. That my work and my job is to help people in this situation. And 99% of the people who come to me after infidelity, they stay together not because I'm a great therapist. I do know what I'm doing, but it's because there is something there still. If you get the right help at the right time, when people recover from infidelity, and infidelity is not the only thing, from almost getting divorced, because people get to that place in many different ways, and it may not be a sexual betrayal, as in the case of infidelity, but it is a betrayal. When you have said to me that, you and I will be together, we'll take care of each other, and now you are somebody else. You don't even see me. There was, when those relationships change, and when they start to recover, let me tell you, Nida, they are the best, most beautiful couples. I cannot tell the love that when they recover the way they're supposed to recover, not just fake recover.
That's awesome.
When these people get together, those are the people that you'll see holding hands well into their 80s and being cute together. They know what it's like to lose someone.
And earlier you said that when you go through a pain comes where exactly you need to heal. So when infidelity happens, for both partners, the pain is felt where it needs to be, the void and the pain of not being, or a sense of being rejected, so to speak, right?
Yes.
And when they heal, would it be correct to say they have healed in exact those spots to come together?
Oh my God. Absolutely. Thank you for picking up on that and saying it so eloquently. But exactly that, Nida, because let's talk about the woman who got betrayed.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in her past, it doesn't have to be, it could be the first relationship that she had. It could be that, oh, I've never even been with another person. This is not just about romantic relationships. Somewhere in her life, she has been betrayed before. It could be a betrayal that she thought it was a betrayal, as in the case of one person who just thought that, you know, okay, my brother is born and now I'm jealous that my brother is born, so I'm upset and it feels like a betrayal to me. Never want anybody to listen to this and think that I'm insinuating that the person who's betrayed has a part in it. Really, what I'm saying is that a family and a relationship is a system. And when something happens in a system that's wrong, then this entire system has to change. It has to be systemic change. Whatever is happening right now in our world, just like that, what is required is a systemic change. So if you're part of the system, yes, you have to change. Does that mean that that you are to be blamed? Absolutely not. There's a difference between the two.
We're almost out of time, but before that, I want you to share your last words as an advice for couples who are trying to heal through it, going through the hardships, they haven't reached the healing process yet, or just discovered that there has been cheating in the relationship or infidelity just now. You know, they have discovered that they're trying to heal from it. Any couple who is going through this experience, your last words for them.
People who are just finding out, I can't give them advice right now because that is a crisis situation. And there is too much advice to be given there, but I do have videos on it and they can watch it. But overall, I will say that when you are faced with something like infidelity, the healing comes from within. The work comes from within. You do not need the contribution or the participation of anyone, not the person who's cheating on you, not the person they're cheating with. You don't need all the stars to align in order for you to feel okay, in order for you to find the peace, the love, the security, the safety that you're looking for. All of that can be done within yourself.
Thank you so much for being part of Pondering Thoughts with Nida Javed. And for all of our audience, you want to get in touch with Sanya, all the links are below in the description. Subscribe to Pondering Thoughts with Nida Javed and continue with this whole series where I will continue to introduce amazing people in our nation, around town, and who are serving others selflessly, just like Sanya is right now. So that's awesome and amazing. Thank you everyone for joining us, and I'll see you next time.